congratulations sa mga matataas ang nakuha sa kanilang summative test. So, based on sa result, kaya congratulations. Pina-download ko at the moment. Share screen back. Mabilis ang ano lang mabilis ang view. So, meron kayong mga kaklase na 4 na beses po. 4 na beses na nag-take ng quiz. Ang problema nun is iba-ibang score niya. Okay? So, just like what I have said earlier, kung na-doble, automatic na, what? Ang i-record ko po doon ay yung pinakaunang timestamp. For example, walang problema, for example, si Jericho. Ayan, 2 ang nakuha niya. So, pareho namang score. So, yan pa rin. Yan po yung mga nakuha niyong score. Someone got 24. Congratulations. Majority got below 10. Also. Ayan. Medyo pinasadahan natin. Okay? Now, let's discuss. Saan ba kayo nagkamali? Let's discuss first the... Anyway, check naman natin. So, this is my last download ng summative test ninyo. So, whoever did not take the summative test, hindi na po ito ang kukunin niya. Kasi syempre, sasabihin ko na yung sagot, di ba? Ayan. So, these are the most frequently missed questions. Number 2, out of 118, 21 ang tama. 3, 58. Ayan. Yan po ang result ng inyong quiz. Okay? So, kaya ko pinapakita sa inyong class, it only indicates that once na nagkamali ka sa journal entry mo, there's a possibility talaga na along the way, hindi mo na matatapos siya. Okay? So, let's check first. So, sabi na dito, paid 6,200 cash on accounts payable. So, the answer is letter A. You need to debit. Kung mapapansin nyo po, binaliktad ko lang. Siguro yung iba nalito. Akala nila debit yung una. Then credit yung accounts payable. Pansin nyo, binaliktad ko lang si debit at saka si credit. Okay? Dito, pinalitan ko lang ng credit. Dito, debit. Tingnan natin yung entry. Ha? Ang mismong problem. Don't worry, I'm going to send this one. Hindi ko pa sinasagutan yung cash flow statement. Ayan. So the problem is, Bruce Willis opened a veterinary business on August 1, 2021. On August 31, the balance sheet showed cash of 18,000, accounts receivable 3,400, supplies of 1,200, office equipment 12,000, and accounts payable 7,200. And of course, Bruce Willis capital worth 27,400 during 1,400. So ito yung sinasabi niya class na ito yung ending balance mo for the month of August 31. Meaning to say, nung September 1, meron kang ganong balance. Okay? So, during September, the following transactions occurred. Okay? So, ito po yun. So, I put first all the balances. Ito yung magtisimbing beginning balance mo. Beginning capital mo. Okay? Then, nagkaroon uli ng separate transaction noong September 21, which is paid 6,200 cash on accounts payable. So, meaning to say, nagbayad ka. So, pag nagbayad ka, nag-release ka ng cash, nawalan ng cash yung company mo. At kapag nawalan ng cash, yung company mo, credit yon. Remember yung ano natin? Plus minus, diba? So automatic, yung cash mo is 6,200 credit kasi nawala. Okay? Nabawasan din yung accounts payable mo. There is a decrease in accounts payable kasi you paid for it. Kaya, sa debit side mo yung accounts payable. That's why ang answer dito is letter A. Okay? Debit, accounts payable, credit, cash. Now, on the next transaction, September 2, make sure class you check your work. Okay? How will you check it? So how will you check? So when I was still in college, usually ito, may check yan kung paano nyo ginawa dito. Kaya be careful kung paano nyo ginagawa to Pero this time yung per date lang isi-check natin. Okay? Per date, per transaction. O ganito Kung tama yung pagkakalagay nyo dito, put one check. Kung merong slight na merong isang mali dyan, malian. Okay? Although, ito naman ay journal entry is 5 points. So tabular analysis is 5 points. Statement of comprehensive income is also 5 points. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay, cash flow. Nalagay ko sana ng T account pero hindi na ako naglagay kasi meron naman tayong tabular. So for ano yun, for the whole accounting cycle discussion na yun sa mga susunod. Okay? So irurubric ko yan kung ilan ang makuha niyo dyan. If I'm going to give you 5 points ba, 4 points ba, or 3 points. So don't worry class, once, even if you got 0, here, I will give you a minimum of 3 points for the sake of trying your best to solve this problem. Okay? As long as you have a solution. Okay? But dapat, na-submit na ninyo yan pagkatapos, I mean, bago tayo nag-discuss ngayon. Okay? Doon ko lang makikredit. Doon nyo lang makikredit yung 25 points din ninyo sa inyong performance tax. Okay? Anyway, number 2. Collected 2,600 of accounts receivable. So, ibig sabihin, nakakollect ka sa may utang naman sa'yo. Okay? So, you receive cash worth 2,600. And of course, nabawasan ang accounts receivable mo kasi nagbayad na yung may utang sa'yo. Then, to record cash received. So, pansinin mo, may mga, in reality, hindi na usually naglalagay ng ganito. Pero, much better na ilagay nyo, basta at least may notes lang kayo. Kasi mahalaga yan sa paggawa ninyo ng cash flow statement. Mande-determine mo kasi kung ano ito hindi yan. Hindi ba yan yung sagot? Ma-determine mo kasi kung ano ba to? Cash received from customers ba to? Cash collection ba from credit customers? Ayan. So for example, itong number September 2, this belongs, if we're going to talk about the statement of cash or cash flow statement, ito yung cash collection from credit customers. Meaning to say, dito mo siya ilalagay sa cash flow from operating activities. Kasi accounts receivable, di ba? At nakakasunod po ba masyadong mabilis po yung pag-transfer? Class?
Excuse po, ma'am.
Yes?
Ma'am, pa-admit daw po si Marquez.
So, nakakasunod ba doon sa pinapresent ko? Kasi Excel yan, baka kako, hindi nyo masyadong makita. But anyway, I'm going to send this naman so that you can analyze and study it later. Okay? So, next is September 3. Purchase additional office equipment for 4,200. So, when you purchase, ibig sabihin, there is an additional in your asset. So, if there is an increase in your asset, you put it in your debit side. Okay? So, office equipment worth 4,200. Take note of the terms. Cash niya ba lahat binayaran? No. Sabi niya dito, paying 1,600 in cash, meaning to say, 1,600 lang po ang inilabas niyang cash. Kaya kung mapapansin nyo, debit cash. And the remaining balance is account payable. Wala kang nilagay dyan in the form of note or nagbigay siya ng note or promissory note. Sabi lang dyan, balance on account. So, kaya, ang kapartner ng cash sa credit side is the account payable. Okay? So, how do we get the accounts payable? So, if it's not indicated in the problem, madali lang naman, just subtract, diba? Pero since dito, nakalagay naman yata. Wala. So, dito, hindi nakalagay. So, just subtract. Papansin nyo, E22. So, meaning to say, 4,200 minus 1,600. So, anong nangyari sa transaction? To record purchase office equipment. Okay? Next, September 4. On September 4, earned revenue of 11,800, of which 5,000 is received in cash and the balance is due in October. Okay? So how much daw? 11,800 na service revenue. Nadagdagan ang inyong service revenue. Alam niyo naman na ang normal balance ng service revenue is nasa credit. So 11,800. Out of 11,000 daw, 5,000 lang daw ang na-receive mo cash. Kaya ang nakalagay dyan, cash, 5,000. At meron ka pa daw na accounts receivable. Kailan mo matatanggap? By the month of October pa. Kaya, how much? Remaining balance. Hindi na naman binigay kung ilan yung remaining balance. So, 11,000 minus 5,000 equals 6,800. Ayan. Nandyan yung formula kung saan yung nakaya. Okay? Next. And ano yung transaction na yun ulit? To record cash received from service vendor. On September 5, withdrew 6,000 cash for personal use. So si Bruce Willis daw, nagkaroon ng withdrawal for personal use. So take note, pag nagwe-withdraw yung owner, nababawasan yung cash niya. So pag nababawasan ang cash niya, you put it in the credit side. Okay? And gano'n naman, kapag nag-i-increase yung withdrawal niya, you put it on the debit side. Remember ha, dalawa lang po ang pwedeng nasa debit side na nag-i-increase. That is an asset and a withdrawal. Tatlo pala, and also expenses. Okay? Naalala yung T-account natin? Lang po yung pwedeng, ito yung positive, negative. Puro positive to ah. Ano ulit? Yung positive dito, ilalagay ko na lang to. Asset, expenses, and withdrawal. Dito, ano yung mga positive? Revenue. Pag sinabing revenue, lahat ng income, capital, ano pa, and liability. And negative or nagde-decrease siya kapag nasa credit side siya. Ito naman, credit side. So, ito usually yung effect class, no? So, sa akin kasi para mas madali ko matandaan nung college ako, ito yung ginagawa ko. So, dahil hilig ako sa math, mas prefer ko yung mga symbol. So, yan ang tinatatak ko sa utak ko. Okay? Automatic yan. Yan. So, yung madali mong matatandaan yung mga effects. Okay? So, depende na lang. For example, kung dalawang asset ang affected, automatic, may isang debit dyan, may isang nag-increase, may isang nag-decrease. Kung ano yung na-receive mo, automatic yun yung nag-increase. Kung ano yung pinalit mo dun sa na-receive mo, automatic yun yung asset na nag-decrease. Okay? So, where are we? So, nagkaroon ka ng withdrawal. Anong nawala sa'yo na nag-withdraw si owner? Cash. Okay? Worth 6,000. Then, nag-increase ng withdrawal si owner, so you put it in the debit side, worth 6,000. So, record cash flowing for personal use. Okay? Next, on September 6, nakakasunod pa po ba, class? Yes, nakakasunod pa po ba tayo? Ayan.
Ma'am, nakakasunod po.
Dito. Explain muna natin. Dapat nag-check kayo dyan ha, para at least alam nyo kung saan ang mali ninyo. Okay? So, kasi sa portfolio ninyo, yun ang what do you call this? Yun ang i-attach ninyo. Okay? O, next. September 6. Hindi ko pa inaano yung auto-admit. Kasi baka mamaya may makapasok na na outsider. Anyway, September 6. On September 6, you paid salaries worth 7,000. Kaya salaries expense, 7,000. Rent expense worth 9,000. Advertising expense, 3,000 pesos. O take note, may sinabi bang rent po ito ha? May sinabi bang on account? Wala. So, automatic in the form of cash yung pagbabayad mo. Pag may sinabing using his or her credit card or the company's credit card, automatic accounts payable yun. But since wala, so in the form of cash. How do we come up with the 19,000? We just add. Okay? Yan naman. Pag-highlight mo. Doon nang galing yun. I-add mo lang. To record payments. Okay? So, simple na lang nilalagay yung payments, cash received, ganyan. Kasi malalaman mo yan sa statement of financial, a cash flow statement mo. Okay? Ayan, cash paid for expenses. So, ibig sabihin dito rin yan mabibilog. Okay? So, yung iba, nagawa na yung cash flow statement. So, yun actually yung papagawa ko mamaya. Okay? Next, September 7. September 7, incurred utility expenses. Okay? For the month on account, 1,700. So, ibig sabihin, class, nakagamit ka. For example, some of the utility expenses, it can be electricity. Kunwari, na-incurred mo na siya. Okay? So, you enter. Nag-increase yung expenses mo. What kind of expenses? Utility expense, 1,700. Binayabaran mo ba ng cash? Hindi. Ang sabi dyan is on account. How much? 1,700. So pag sinabing or narinig nyo yung on credit, on account, that is in the form of accounts payable. Kapag may sinabing you give a promissory note, then that it's a note payable. Pero hindi. On account. Kaya ilalagay mo, there is also an increase in liability in the form of accounts payable. How much? 1,700. Then, to record payment. Okay. Next, on September 8, last transaction, receive 14,000 from Pacific Bank money borrowed on a note payable. Nakatanggap ka daw ng cash worth 14,000, o ay inutang mo. Okay? Na nag-promise ka, nagbigay ka ng promissory note na babayaran mo. Okay? Kaya meron siyang na note payable. Nag-increase yung cash mo, yung asset mo in the form of cash, and your liability in the form of note payable. Ako, tinotal ko na lang to kasi hindi naman ako gumawa ng trial balance. Okay? Pero kapag pinalo natin yung account, kaya hindi ako gumawa ng parang trial balance. Ito ko na lang kasi nilagay sa tabular analysis natin. Okay? So kung isa-summarize mo, ito yung mga transaction na nangyari. Sa remarks, nilalagay natin kung para saan ba. Okay? Ano ba yung naapektuhan? Okay? So ito yun. Ito yung mga balance mo nung December 31. Meaning kasi ito yung mga natitira sa pera. Kung meron sanang nakalagay na trial balance dyan, may data ka na kaagad. So madali na kung naka-T account na kaagad yan. So parang ito yung mga natitirang T account. Ito yung mga natitira sa T account mo noong month of August. By the end of August. Okay? Then ito yung nangyaring transaction. So, ganun yung class, ipa-plot mo. So, dito kasi, since Excel lang ginamit ko, nakalagay dyan negative. Pero sa ano nyo dapat, kung hindi Excel lang ginamit nyo class, kung hindi Excel lang ginamit nyo, dapat ang nakalagay dito, sa lahat na may negative is meron ka dapat open and close parenthesis. Yun dapat ang nakalagay, ha? So, paano ulit yung pag-check? Same. Check, check, check. So, bawat item yan, tama ba? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Basta bawat amount yan may check. Okay? So, ito, ano lang po, scratch paper para sa quiz ninyo. So, ito, this is the total of your liability. Ayan. Pero kahit wala na to, okay? Kinailangan ko lang itong isolve dyan para sa summative testing nyo. Okay? Kasi di ba meron doon yung the following statement are true except ganito, ganyan. So, kung nagawa nyo ng tama, class, napakadaling sagutan ng summative test. Ang challenge nun is nagawa nyo pa ng tama. Okay? Okay. So, based doon sa transaction, nilatag mo lahat ng assets, nilatag mo lahat ng liabilities, and the owner's equity. Okay? Owner's equity, anong meron dyan? Nandyan yung capital, nandyan ang withdrawal, nandyan yung income, nandyan din yung expenses. Kasi net income or net loss, di ba? Kaya pa, hindi ko na pinaghiwalay. Ganyan lang naman. This is just to prove that your assets should be equal to your liabilities plus owner's equity. Kaya mapapansin mo yung total nila is the same. Okay? Dito mo rin makikita, ito lang ang concern sa cash flow statement po, class. Make sure the total of your cash in your cash flow statement is the same. Same as the total of your cash flow statement of your cash in your balance sheet or statement of financial position. The same dapat yan. Isa yan sa kine-check. Okay? So, same dapat. Make sure, same dapat din ang makikita niyo po dito. Yung total niya should also be 6,800. Take note of that, ha? Dito sa cash flow statement, placing na lang yan plus kung narisan mo na receipt. Okay? So, hindi po ito hindi ko sinasabing ito yon. Wala pa akong nilalagay dyan. So, pinipili ko pa lang kung ano ba, cash receivable. Okay, may mga example naman tayo, di ba? So, after this, you will make your statement of comprehensive income for the month of, this is not June, for the month of ended September 30. Okay, and how will you do that? How much is your service revenue? You look your tabular analysis. Nasaan ba yung revenue lang dyan? Isa lang. 11,000. I think nakalink naman yan. Okay? Less expenses. Ano-ano ba yung mga expenses mo? You have your expenses. Salaries, rent, advertising, and of course, utilities expense. Then, what is the total? Inad mo lang. Okay? Inad lang yan. Then, why did I say that it is a net loss? Because the expenses is higher than the revenue. If we're going to subtract this one, okay, it's negative 8. So, take note class dito, kung sinusulat niyo yan dyan, dapat naka-open and close parenthesis to. Since I'm using Excel lang kasi, hindi open and close ang nakalagay. Pero pwede mo naman i-format na gano'n. It's easier kasi na mag-show. Okay? Take note pag ang revenue is higher than your expenses, that is a net income. But in this case, your expenses is higher than your revenue. That's why you have a net loss. Okay? So we're done with your statement of comprehensive income. Dapat may ganito din, class. Okay? So under your statement of changes in your owner's equity, you need to put Willis capital. How much? 27,400. So kung wala siyang, kung kaka-start lang sana siya class, usually ito yung beginning capital. Kung kaka-start lang niya sana, meaning to say wala pa siyang na-invest, walang natitira sa past month niya, usually ito yung 0-0. Okay? Anong inad niya? May additional investment ba siya? Meaning to say, nung September 1 ba, meron bang meron bang nakalagay na Bruce Willis invested 100,000? So, wala naman ganun, di ba? So, 0 yung investment. Wala siyang additional investment. Meron lang siyang ending balance ng August at so yun. Then, you add the net loss. Okay? Net income or net loss. So, since negative yan, automatic parang sinubtract niya. Kasi usually, add net loss, add investment, less ang net loss, or add ang net income. Pero naka-negative naman siya Pero kaya So, ang ending capital na ni Bruce Willis, as of September 31, 2021, is 12,500. Take note of my lines, class. When you put a double bar line, that is the parang final balance na niya. Okay? Tignan nyo, hindi lang basta line. Final balance na niya. Okay? So, ito dapat ang makikita sa account, kung fee account ang ginamit niyo. Kung nag-fee account kayo. Okay? So, we're done with the statement of changes in owner's equity. Under the statement of financial position, question, what type of statement of financial position ang ginawa ko? Hindi ko na nga tinanong yata yun. Class?
Account.
Ma'am, account form po.
Ano yung isang form? Report?
Report form.
So, in this case, I did the account form. Pero sa inyo, pwedeng report form. Okay? Ang mahalaga naman yung value. Okay? So, always check kung ilan yung mga lahat ng may yan. Check niyo yan. 1 point yan. Okay? Tingnan nyo din dito kung tama yung yan. Mali ako. Ayan. Always write the name of the company, what type of financial statements are you preparing, and the date. Okay? So under the statement of financial position, that there are only 3 concerns here. Your assets, liabilities, and the owner's equity. Okay? So you have cash. Saan nakikita yung cash? Take note, lahat ng mga hindi mo isinama dito sa statement of comprehensive income mo, makikarry over doon sa statement of financial position mo. Okay? So we have cash, 6,800. Actually, ito yon. Lahat ng nandito will be carried over to your statement of financial position. Accounts receivable, how much? 7,600. Supplies, 1,200. Then, office equipment, 6,200. For a total of 31,000. Total of 31,000. That's how you check. Okay? Next, liabilities. We only have 2 liabilities. Notes payable and accounts payable. How much? 14 and 5.3. Check. 14 and 5.3. How much is the total? 19,000. Plus owner's equity. Saan matatagpuan? In your statement of changes in owner's equity. So po yun, 12,500. So if we're going to add the total liabilities, plus your owner's equity, we have also 31,800. Balance ba? And that ends our discussion for your summative test. As for your assignment, I want you to do all the cash flow statements in your activity 1, activity 2, and the last summative test. Okay? Then we will discuss it. Siguro if not next week, kasi next week magpapa-observe po ako. Okay? Get ready. With regards to topic, I might discuss the whole accounting cycle. If not this one. Kaya get ready lang. Okay? So, yun po. I hope nakita nyo kung saan nagkamali yung mga tawag doon, yung mga solution ninyo. Sa ganun, ma-assess nyo, ay, kaya pala ganito. Okay? Now let's go back to your summative test. Ayan. Doon tayo, karamihan sa may except.
Ma'am,
Yes?
yung sa number 2 po dyan sa summative test.
Okay. O, sabi na dito, the journal entry for September 2 transactions collected 2,600 of accounts receivable. Anong tamang sagot?
Parang wala po.
Kung tamang sagot.
Tingnan natin. Dito naman sinagutan natin yan, di ba? So the journal entry should be debit, accounts payable, credit, cash. Ay, debit, accounts payable. It should be debit, accounts payable. O, kaya pala. Ito ang nagkamali sa answer key. Sige, bonus. Mali ang pagkakasagot. Debit.
Ma'am, same with number 5 po. Dalawa po yung sagot, ma'am.
Dalawa ang number 5. So, meron tayong i-take consideration. Debit, accounts payable.
Ay, hindi po pala, ma'am. Tama po pala yun, ma'am. Isa lang po.
Dapat letter A. Wait lang. Dapat letter A ang sagot sa ano? Sa number 2. Merong tamang sagot.
Ma'am, wala po, ma'am, kasi September 2 po yung tinatanong na transaction dun.
So the answer should be cash is debit cash, account receivable. Debit cash. Tama naman na. Accounts receivable. Mali tayo sa amount. Nagka-typo. Debit cash. It should be letter C. Debit cash. 26, tama? Debit cash. 26. So it should be letter B, class. Ayos natin to. Wait ang note ko. It should be letter B. Mali dito.
Ma'am,
Adi,
debit
ma'am.
po yung cash po, ma'am.
Ha? Kaya nga, it should be letter B.
Ma'am, dun sa letter B po, ma'am, is credit yung cash po.
Ay, oo nga, mali nga. So, bonus na lang to. But it should be debit cash. Ay, naku naman. Pag gumagawa kasi ako ng exam, copy-paste lang. Hindi ko siya na-edit class. Kinakopy mo lang. So, mali. Bonus. But at least you know the right answer. So, let's have a +1 kung mali kayo sa number 2. Anyway, may summary naman tayo. So, makikita ko po dyan. Ayan. So, kung letter D, ang sagot nyo, dapat yung ano. Sige, bonus na lang. So, +1 kayo lahat. So, yung kung 24, automatic may 25 na. Pero titingnan ko pa rin yung solution niya. Ayan. Ano pa ang uli ang question natin? Number 5.
Ma'am, tama po pala yun.
Tama. Number 5 is withdraw. So, nadagdagan yung withdrawal, 6,000. So, yun. Okay, so congratulations. I think, so meron, so I think si mga naka-24 tayo eh. So, possible, maka-25 na tong mga to. So, idrosolan also. So, congratulations. So, titingnan ko na lang yung mga naka-24 dito. So, naka-perfect sila. Good job. Mukhang may mga kukuha na ako kung sino ang ilalaban natin later on sa ABM Cup. So, may question pa po ba? Would you like to have another activity wherein we will do the whole accounting cycle naman? siguro maybe discuss natin, balikan natin yung ibang mga, what do you call this, discussions, accounting 1. Since we are done discussing our topic, ang next na natin is review na lang. Tapos, ano na tayo, second quarter na tayo. So, balikan natin yung accounting cycle when you were in your accounting 1. Kasi medyo kailangan nating ayusin yun, yung naka-flow na ng gano'n. Okay? So last time, supposed to be ang discussion natin is the analysis of those financial statements. But mas maganda kung merong example. Diba? Anuhin natin, after yung matapos yung cash flow statement, yan, i-analyze na natin yung effects ng bawat financial statements ninyo. Okay? So since we are done checking, and we are also done in explaining our topic for the first quarter, as promised that I'm going to go back to your accounting 1 para mas ma-clear natin and hopefully matapos din natin yung buong accounting cycle since we still have enough time naman. Tama ba? 10:33 pa lang? Tama? May 1 hour ba tayo? Class? Mag-practice ha kasi kasama po ang ating principal, Sir Marvin, sa mag-o-observe po sa atin next week. Okay? Kung anong itatopic ko, maka-secret pa. Okay? So, wait class, I'm just going to find my files. This material is what I use when I discuss my accounting 1. Search ko pa at the moment. So, yung nakashare po sa inyo. So, I hope nag-screenshot kayo while discussing that topic. So, si Aliling po is one of the famous author of Fundamentals of Accountancy book. So, yung presentation ay present ko sa inyo ngayon is galing kay Aliling. It's also a 6A. Ganun kadami. Kakadtalin ko pa po dyan mga ABOITIZ, yung 4137 nyo. Kasi nagloko tong desktop at laptop. Hindi kung na-save mo, pero ayaw mag-save, mga ganun. Yung na-save mo, ayaw naman mag-view. Kaya pina-format ko kaya yan. Sabi ko, i-back up lahat ng sobrang dami kong file. So, aling part dun sa accounting 1 nyo nga po ulit, yung medyo nahihirapan kayo class? Sa theories, saan? Saan pa na part? And based dun sa chinek ninyong output ngayon, summative test ninyo, saan kayo nagkamali usually? Is it on the journal entry pa lang? Ha? Hello? Ang tahimik nyo. Baka naman pag inoobserbahan ako, ganyan din kayo katahimik ha? Let's just wait for a while. Kita niyo naman siguro. May 1 pera na ako. 500 pa ako. Puno na lahat. Ano nangyari? SF, nasa F5 ko siya. F5. Actually, nasa ibig sabihin, ang natapos lang ninyo is nasa chapter. Sa anyway, based dun sa sinabi niya sa akin, chapter 6 pa lang kayo natapos. Hindi niya natapos yung statement of financial statements, post-financial process, yung may reversing, the merchandising business, and yung bank reconciliation is yung financial analysis, which is also included doon sa ating topic. Okay? So, ano lang ito, mabilisan lang. So, on record class, babalikan lang natin yung accounting 1 ninyo ng mga topic. Review na rin ito just in case na magkaroon ng ABM Cup. Okay? So, let's talk about the history of accounting. So, accounting, according to the Bible, is believed to have originated from the creations giving account to the Creator. And of course, Luca Pacioli is considered the father of accounting. Okay? So, creative accounting is the practice of recognizing revenue in a way that makes a company look better than it is while still conforming to the generally accepted accounting principle, or GAAP. It hides a company's true financial state, but unlike aggressive accounting, it is generally legal. Okay? So if you were going to pursue this career, you can be an external auditor or an internal auditor. So, ito yung mga jobs na pwede nyo mapasukan. Okay? So pag sinabing external auditor, you examines the financial statements of his client, company, and certifies its fair presentation. Usually works in an auditing firm or in private practice. Prestigious auditing firm in the Philippines are SGB and company Joaquin Cunanan and Company. You can also be an internal auditor class. Housed in a certain company improves the internal control of the business enterprise to protect the interests of the owners. Focus on the company's transaction by making sure that all transactions are properly checked and documented. So I hope makagawa ko ng tutorial kung paano po mag-journal entry. Hindi pa talaga sumalam na doon. Siguro pag hindi ko na kayo estudyante, panoorin nyo na lang ulit. Ayan. Financial accountant. So pwede kayong financial accountant ha? Kasi meron tayong iba't ibang major eh. Okay? Next. What did the financial accountant do? It prepares the financial statements of a company which auditors use to make an opinion regarding the company. You can also be a cost accountant. You prepares the cost accounting process of a product of the business. Government accountant, kung naisihin, educator, ito naman anytime, mag-take ka lang ng LET. Okay? O kaya sa college. And I suggest that is your backup plan class. Kasi in education, wala tayong age na pinipili. O ha? Pwede kang mag-work 8 to 5, then afterwards, lunch ka lang, magturo ka sa college, nakaka-enjoy. Kasi palang mas masarap din magturo about sa college. Ayan. So, that time, habang, kasi alam niyo naman galing ako sa college din. Parang from private company, nung napunta dito sa college, napunta kasi wala namang ibang libangan. So, nagturo ka ng college. So, dahil wala pa silang teacher, so, habang nagtuturo ako ng high school, so may part-time ako na nagtuturo din sa college during weekend. Ayan, ganun pa ako sipag nun. May tutorial pa. Anyway, so yun. That's why you should have a backup as an educator. Kasi ang nangyari kasi sa akin, nung nasa junior high ako, di ba parang 40 mo pang college ng mga courses, di ba? Tapos biglang, yung binigay pa sa'yo is hindi mo tinuturo. Ayaw kong mawala yung ganun class. Kasi once na hindi mo pinapractice, alam mo yung parang nakakabobo na part. Ang ganun. So, ang tinuro ko sa junior high school nun is TLE. Majority Filipino subject. So, okay lang sa Rizal kasi may college naman sa Rizal. Results license writing. Isa ako sa mga nagturo doon. Pero yung ganun nga, yung TS sa TLE naman, kwento muna tayo na side. Sa TLE naman, hobby ko lang kasi mag-stitches. I love crafts. Diba? So talagang nag-crave ako, kumbaga, nag-crave ako na mai-practice pa rin. And to think na yung mga college student ko, dahil nawala nga ako, so wala silang teacher, kung sila iwan na lang bigla. Diba? They are the first batch of business art students. Yan. Anyway, so how can one become a certified accountant? Okay. First, you finish a program in accountancy, take a review class for 6 months, take the CPA board licensure examination, given twice a year, usually during May and October. Of course, it depends now dahil nga sa pandemic, so nagkakaroon tayo ng problema. Okay? What are the subjects to be covered? The theory of accounts, practical accounting 1 and practical accounting 2, auditing theory and auditing problems, management, advisory services, law, and taxation. After passing the exam, the PRC shall issue a CPA license. So I think ito medyo nabago na ngayon. I think there is also a rule na kapag nag-work ka sa isang ganitong klaseng industry for at least 10 years ata or 8 years, you can take na directly this board exam. Okay? So let's define accounting. So we have different definitions of accounting depending on the author. Okay? So one definition of accounting is that it is a service activity. It provides quantitative information, primarily financial in nature, about economic entities. The second definition is a process of recording, classifying, and summarizing in a significant manner, and in terms of money, transactions, and events which are in part of at least of financial character and interpreting the results thereof. Panyo. Ang ganda panyo. Kung walang panyo, tiko. Kala, gumagawa ng module yung magtama. Definition number 3, the language of business communicates financial statements to the users. And we have different types of financial statements. So ito, alam niyo na to. Diba? Number 1 is the balance sheet or the statement of financial position. Okay? So the statement of financial position or financial position as of a given period. Meaning to say you use the word as of. Okay? Why do we use it, class? As of means that the statement contains cumulative figures from the start of the business commercial operation up to the present statement date. Okay? The main reason why you add the ending balance nung August. Kasi from the start of the business period. Okay? Next, we also have what we call the income statement or the statement of comprehensive income. Okay? The statement of the result of operation, it gives the idea whether the business enterprise is making a profit or loss for a period of time. For a period naman ang nakalagay. Okay? So, i-check natin. As of ba ang nakalagay sa statement of financial position? For the period ba ang nakalagay sa income statement? Okay? Then we also have the statement of cash flows, which is your assignment. Take note, tatlo ang assignment nyo ha. Gagawa nyo yung cash flow statement yung activity 1 natin last time, activity 2, and the summative text. Kasi wala pang cash flow yun. Okay? Yeah. So the statement that gives information about the cash sources and the cash uses of the business enterprise during a given period of time. Ang pinakamagalaw kasi na accounting title sa lahat is the cash. Okay? Yun talaga ang lagi mong napifill upan sa T-account mo. Kaya nga sa BIR, meron tayong cash receipts at saka cash disbursements. Additional info also, you need to at least you only put transactions na may kinalaman sa business ninyo na dapat po OR doon sa cash receipts and cash disbursement. So under the cash receipts na book, yun yung mga what do you call this? Yun yung mga resibo ng pinag-anuhan mo, na-receive mo. Okay? So take note, it should be valid receipts. Meron kasing mga resibuhan lang. So it should be OR or invoices. Okay? Later on, we will have a further discussion on that. So we have the phases of accounting class. Remember kanina, dinefine natin. So ano ba yung sinabi kapag sinabi mong recording? Okay? So the writing down of business transactions in the official book of accounts duly registered with the Bureau of Internal Revenue. Maganda sana kung hawak ko yung book of accounts ng Golden Gate Cup. Yung laminate ko kasi siguro by January ko na ipapa-register. Parang hindi naman, pero magdodoble-doble ako ng bayad class. Okay? And hindi ko pa kasi natatapos yung medical. By next week pa ako magpapa-medical. Isang class, kami dalawa ni asawa. Then after noon, magpapasa na ako yung ibang mga clearances pa. Anyway, BIR. So, once na ni-register mo kasi ang business mo class, tapos ka na nakapag-process, no? You are only, kunwari, naipasa mo na sa munisipyo, tapos na yung sunny permit, mga ganyan-ganyan, fire permit, etc. So, you are given 2 months para yung business mo is ma-register sa BIR. Kundi, magkakaroon ka ng penalty. Then, kapag na-register mo na yan sa BIR class, yun yung may magpapagawa. Yung meron ka ng permit to print ng resibo, ayan, yung lahat ng resibo ma-release mo, isa yun sa mga i-record mo dun sa book of accounts mo. Okay? So, bago mo po gamitin yung ledger, yung journal, na yan class, dapat may tatak muna yan ng BIR. Okay? Sayang, hindi ko dala. Dapat may tatak muna. O siguro, mas maganda kung may example natin kapag napatatakan ko. Mag-vlog pa. Hello guys, nandito ako sa Alaminos ngayon, inaasikaso yung BIR. So ganito po yung process, no? Yan. Parang ano na yan, advance na ninyong advance AYALA tutorial on how you register legally your business. Okay? Next. So, of course, BIR examines the content of the book to assure that the business is under the government's control for tax purposes. Okay? So, lahat dapat ng nangyayari sa business mo, i-record mo doon. Take note, ang i-record mo is relevant to your business. At the same time, make sure to have an OR that supports your transaction. Okay? Hindi ka pwedeng mag-record ng walang supporting documents. Official receipt dapat. Or invoices. Okay, na valid. Okay? The next phase is the classifying. Sorting of business transactions to their specific account. Meaning to say, pagsasama-sama mo lahat ng asset, liabilities, etc. Ganon. Okay? Next is summarizing, summing up of the business transactions recorded in the book of summarizing. Hello, naririnig ko ba ako? Summarizing. Summarize mo class. Okay? How are you going to summarize it? By preparing your financial statement. Diba? You summarize it. Then, interpreting. Ito na yung analysis. So, interpreting information is interpreted for decision-making process. So, meaning to say, kanina, sa answer key sa summative test nyo, the result is net loss. So, anong gagawin mo? Bibili ka pa ba ng bibili? Hindi na. Okay? Or, there's a possibility that you will do something about it para mag-increase yung sales mo. Since kukunti ang sales mo, magli-lessen ka ng expenses mo. Anong pwedeng i-lessen? Pwede ba i-lessen ng raw materials? No, you can lessen the utilities. You may fire or lessen the employees. Okay? Ganon. Okay? Some of the interpreting. Okay? So, ang tawag dun sa process na to class is bookkeeping. Okay? It is the systematic and chronological recording of business transactions, observing therein the fundamental principles of accounting. So when you say chronological, it only means that the transaction should be recorded from the first day of the month to the last day of the month. Lalo na kung monthly po yung. Okay? Preparation of trial balance is supposed to be the end product of a bookkeeper and the starting point of an accountant's work. Okay? Kaya nga, journalizing. So, usually, pag piniprepare na natin yung worksheet, sa akin kasi, kaya hindi na ako nag-prepare ng e-account kasi meron akong tabular. Parang I considered it as my worksheet kasi. Okay? So, what are the terms in accounting? So, ito yung mga possible accounting items na madalas gamitin. So, usually yung asset, yung mga cash na yan, yung code niyan sa chart of account is yung 1. 101, 102. Okay, arrange siya sa current assets and liabilities. Okay? So, money, terms of transaction is cash. Exchange of values. Values are money, rights, properties, and services. Yung event niya is the act of happening. For example, a typhoon hit Metro Manila and it has destroyed some of the business enterprise assets. Okay? These are the events. So, the accounting process is collection of business documents as transaction occurred. Ito po yung mga resibo. Yung resibo na yan, nakasort dapat. Nakasort by date. Yan. Recording to the journal book. Posting to your ledger. So I hope nakita na kayo ng ledger, ha? Of course, preparation of trial balance. Preparation of adjustment entries. Preparation of working paper. preparation of financial statements, and of course, preparation of closing entries and post-closing trial balance, and of course, reversal entries. Ito ang i-discuss ko, which is you did not finish in your accounting 1 since we have an extra time. Diba? As promised, may mada. Dahil kayo dito, yung accounting cycle na ito, ang natapos nyo lang is dito lang po kayo sa adjustments. Pero I think medyo na-discuss ko naman up to preparation of financial statement. Maalala nyo yung kauna-unahan, nag-worksheet tayo, nag-prepare tayo ng worksheet, working paper. Yun, na-meet naman natin ito. Okay? Hindi pa lang natin ito na-meet. Pati yung reversal entry, yung isi-zero mo lahat. Yung mismong transaction class ha, yung sinasabi ko ha, yung sa atin kasi working paper lang. And since ang topic naman natin is preparation of financial statements, pwede na natin ma-relate na nagawa nila to. Pero much better na masimulan natin from the start. From collection of business documents. Kasi maghahanap ka ngayon ng resibo. Okay? You will record it in your journal book if it is related to your business. Okay? In your college class, kaya makakapal din yung mga books ninyo. Kasi may sample resibo doon. May sample check, guguntingan nyo, fill up nyo. Yung iba may fill up na. Then based on that transaction, you will record it, including the control number, the receipt number, the invoice number, kanino galing ang mga receipts na ito. Ganun po sa college. Okay? So ang tinuturo dito is just the basic muna. At least you will know the process. Okay? So these are the sample income statement and statement of financial position. Okay? So in this case, this is the income statement. What type of income statement? Class. Nakalimutan na. So anyway, let's proceed. So this income statement is prepared under the single-step format. It shows the result of the company's operation for a given period of time. So ang concern lang, take note ha, sa income statement is the income or revenue and the expenses. And if the income is higher than the expenses, then you will have a net income. But if it's vice versa, mas mataas ang expenses kaysa sa income, then you have a net loss. Plus, sabihin nyo sa akin kung time's up na ha, pero kung ginaganahan pa naman kayong makinig, willing naman ako, kahit hanggang alas 12. Ayan. Yan. Ito naman ang example class ng statement of financial position. Okay? Nakalagay dyan, statement of financial condition. So, ito, position. Okay? What type of format again? Form. So this is in an account form or account format. Okay? Hindi siya report form or report format. So the statement of financial condition or balance sheet is made in an account format. So take note ha, financial condition or financial position or balance sheet. So some of the books use this term. Okay? So accounting concept and principles. So we have different concepts that you need also to understand. We have the entity concept. Concept states that the personality of the owner and the personality of the business are distinct and separate from each other. Okay? When a person opens a business, he will give a name to his business enterprise as separate. Since the owner and the business are separate entities, each can transact business separately. So iba yung point of view mo as a person who owned that business and yung mismong business. Kaya nga, di ba, ultimo pag-withdraw mo, kailangan i-record. Kung sa point of view ni business mo, for example, laminate. So, Mrs. Sibayan ako on owner. Mrs. Sibayan withdrew 2,000 pesos for personal use. Sa point of view ni laminate, there is an increase in withdrawal and also there is an decrease in cash. Meaning to say, debit, Sibayan withdrawal, credit, cash. But in my point of view, as a person, anong natanggap ko? Debit, cash, 2,000 pesos. Credit. Anong credit ko? Anong nangyari? Hello, may kausap pa po ba ako? Last. So for example, yung 2,000 na yun, sabi for personal use. Kunwari, nag-shopping ako. O expenses. Depende, ginamit ko kasi pang shopping. So, debit na ngayon expenses, nabawasan din ako ng cash at the same time. Pero kunwari, in-invest ko, hinulog ko sa isang, kunwari nag-PPC ako kaya nag-withdraw ako. Ibig sabihin, I received cash and saan ko in-invest? Another business? So, capital. Yun yung transaction ko as a person. Iba yung transaction ng business mo, ng laminate. Ganun naman ang nangyari transaction ko sa akin. Okay? Next, letter C. The business can buy, sell, enter into contracts, pay liabilities, and many others as if it had one personality. Okay? Next, Objectivity Principle, also called the Reliability Principle. By the way, if you want to join the ABM Cup, make sure to always study all of these principles and practice all the applications and solve mga problems na kailangan practice yung mag-solve kayo na mas mabilis kahit walang calculator. Okay. Parang habang binabasa mo palang minus na kayo, alam mo ganun. Kasi may mga 5 seconds lang na alam mo i-solve it. Anyway, cost principle, the transactions have to be recorded at the amount that one has actually paid for. Okay? Materiality principle, the materiality of an account is a matter of professional judgment. The skill of an accountant judging an account is essential. Kaya nga, if you think na diskumpiyado ka, mas maganda kasi i-record mo na sure ka eh. Huwag kang magre-record ng diskumpiyado ka. Although meron naman tayong tinatawag na doubtful account, pero much better na whatever it is that you're going to enter, you should be sure about it. Okay? Matching principle states that the reason the business earns an income is that it simply spends. And for accounting purpose, match the expense incurred to the revenue earned. Okay? For example, on January 31, 2013, X delivered a merchandise with a selling price of 20,000 pesos. X paid the delivery charge amounting to 500. The customer received the merchandise and paid it in full in February. The sales of 20,000, although collected in February, must be reported in January because that was when the perfection of sales contract happened. Also, the delivery expenses must be matched with the revenue earned, therefore, be reported in January. So, medyo nagkaroon kami ng ano nito kay Ma'am Pia, no? Kasi, tama naman siya actually. Pero, for the sake of recording lang kasi, di ba naalala mo nang nagpa-enter ako class, alam naman natin na ang ginagawa natin is that nagpapa-order muna kayo, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, then saka nyo dinideliver sa isang time. So, tama naman na kung kailan nyo dineliver or in-execute or nagkaroon talaga ng mismong sales, dun nyo i-record. But for the sake lang kasi alam naman natin na kung walang pandemic class, yung order mo ng Monday, Tuesday, for example, no, nasa isang venue tayo, for example, covered call. Alam naman natin na automatic, yung order talaga ng Monday na yun, supposed to be, that will be your sales. Pero in your journal entry, kaya sabi ko kanilang sa kanila, assume na kunwari, yun yung nabenta mo na araw na yun. Kaya yun ang ginawa nila. Ganun ang pag-record nila ng transaction. But in reality, class, kung kailan mo na-complete yung transaction, dun mo po i-record. Okay? So, take note, ha? Yan. Ano yun? So, dito, kahit na na-receive ng kahit na yung customer is na-receive yung merchandise and paid it po in February, the sale of 20,000 also collected in February must be reported also in January. Why? Why? Because that was when the perfection on sale was, or the contract happened. Okay? I hope naintindihan. Anyway, you also need to aware of the word accounting period. Okay? We have two types of period, the calendar period and the fiscal period. So pag sinabing calendar period class, accounting period is a 12-month period. Okay? Pag sinabing calendar period, a period of 12 months which ends on December 31. So you follow the calendar. Now, yung end of the, yung first month is January and the end of the month is the December. Fiscal period, on the other hand, is a period of 12 months which ends other than December 31. Meaning to say, if I start my business in September as my first month, my end month would be August. Okay? Meron din tayong tinatawag na, kalimutan ko parang bank calendar, kung ano yung calendar ng bank. Kasi usually, lalo na, I don't know if na-discuss sa business smart nito, no? Usually kasi, meron tayong parang by default na sa isang month, may 30. So may ganun tayong ano, I hope mapag-aralan niyo yan sa math of investment ninyo. Or I don't know if ituturo yan sa business finance ninyo. So may mga ganun kasi. Kaya minsan nagkakaiba yung pagko-compute. Anyway, the chosen accounting period shall determine the set of deadlines for the financial statements and other reports to the government, especially to the BIR and the SEC. Okay? Revenue recognition. The revenue recognition class determines the specific condition under which income becomes realized as revenue income and the income pertaining to its measurable. Take note kasi yung mga dinidiscuss ngayon, since this is an accounting one, don't worry, it will not be included sa quizzes. Included sa quizzes ninyo is yung mga diniscuss ko. Pero makinig na rin kasi there might be some of the things na pwede natin isama, lalo na related din sa accounting. Okay? For example, financial statements related yun. Diba? Yung mga basic knowledge, who is the father of accounting. Actually, lahat naman to related. Okay? Next, conservatism. Recording expenses and liabilities in the least amount of time when one has an opportunity to several outcomes where the probabilities are most likely to occur. You should choose the transactions resulting in a lower amount of profit or deferral of the profit. So we have, of course, different users of financial statements. It can be included in the quiz. Who are these users? Business owners to make decisions depending on the report and its interpretation. It can also be used by the business managers, direct and control the business enterprise, make decisions. The government, potential investors. Does the government check the correctness of tax payment? The BIR of Internal Revenue and the Securities and Exchange Commission. Potential investors check the soundness of the business enterprise before they invest. So ito yung analysis, diba? Later on, mag-discuss natin sa analysis. Oh, okay naman pala ang ano, turuin mo, tagal nakailang years na siya. Okay naman pala ang standing nitong, stable naman pala itong business na to. So, they may invest. Okay? The creditors check on the paying capacity of the customers before extending credit. Ayan, so lalo na kung good payer ka, usually kung good payer ka, ikaw na hinahabol ng utang. At ayaw mangutang eh. Okay? Labor unions demand for increase in the salary of their union members. Budget officers, accountants, auditors prepare the company budget, note the progress of the company operation. So we also have the different forms of business organization. I think it will be discussed, or Ma'am Pia already discussed this in your organization and management. I think I also discussed this in your marketing and in your applied effort. Related, interrelated yung mga yan. We have the sole single proprietorship, the say, owned by one person, usually for small and medium-sized business enterprise. Partnership, owned by two or more persons, owners are called partners, and profit gain is according to an agreement. Okay? And usually, nire-register sa set. Corporation, owned by five or more persons, ownership is based on stocks available in the stock market. Generically, the owner is called stockholder or shareholder. Ownership is divided into shares of stocks, and listed firm and investor can buy shares of stocks from stockbrokers. Unlisted firm investor can buy directly to the office of a corporation, and profit is in the form of dividend that is declared by the board of directors. Also, meron pa yung cooperative. Okay? The types of business organization is service concern. Okay? Render services to customers to earn an income. So usually, most of our transactions, I think example of our transaction is under service. I think I haven't given you an example of a merchandising, trading or merchandising concern, or merchandising. Buys merchandise and sells to customers as a reasonable markup on the cost of the purchased merchandise. Kasi iba rin po yung mga accounting titles used in this kind of business organization. Okay? Manufacturing also buys raw materials and converts them to finished products sold in the market. So in our case, we are manufacturing business. Okay? That is our first part. Next, okay pa ba kayo, class? Okay pa ba na mag-discuss ako o ayaw niyo na? Sabihin niyo lang, ha? Nandyan pa ba naman kayo? Nakikinig pa ba naman kayo?
Yes, ma'am.
Wala pa tayo. O saan nyo na gusto? Dito nyo na kaagad sa adjusting na kaagad? Pwede rin naman. Don't worry, bilisan ko na lang. Anong gustong oras nyo mag-discuss? Alas 12? Ha? Tapusin natin ito hanggang ngayon. Anyway. Yeah. So, our topic for today is the brief overview of the accounting cycle. That is our learning objective. Yeah. So, financial statements figures are accumulated using various tools, including the control measures to safeguard the integrity of every figure in it. Okay. So, accounting cycle is number 1, evidence gathering to support a transaction. Okay. So you gather muna lahat ng evidence. So the evidence these are receipts. Okay? Example of that is the journal voucher, cash receipt voucher, cash payment voucher. Okay? The next step is to journalize these receipts related to your business. Okay? Kung hindi related, please lang, huwag nyo nang ilagay. Okay? Then the step 3 of the accounting cycle, recording in books of accounts. We have different kind of book of accounts. Number 1 is the general journal. Okay? Under the general journal, this is where you write your journal entry. Okay? 2 is the cash receipts journal, 3 cash payments journal, and 4 other special books. Okay? Later on will be discussed. Okay? Next, control. The transaction must be business related and of course authorized by any of the company. Kaduksong po nito yan na yung accounting cycle. For example, yung evidence gathering to support a transaction, the transaction must be business related and authorized by any officer of the company. Meaning to say, valid dapat. Yung resibo dapat, paano mo malalaman kung original receipt yun? Dapat meron dong nakalagay sa mismong resibo na authorized to print. Parang ganon. Okay? Accounting principle observed in this uh, accounting cycle number 1 is entity, objectivity, cost, materiality, matching, accounting period, revenue recognition, and conservatism, which I already discussed earlier. Okay. The second one is to journalize in either the following ABC. So how are you going to do that? You prepared by, establish responsibility. My prepared by. Check by, to check and to establish accuracy. Approved by, to authorize entity to books of accounts. Sino ba ang nagbibigay nito? Okay. Next, recording in books of accounts. So the recording must be systematic and chronological. Meaning to say, arrange it by month, by date. Hindi po pwedeng nauna yung transaction ng February 1, inuna mo yung 31. Ano? Okay? Kung ano yung unang nangyari, yun ang unang mangyari. Next, it must be done by a person, not handling cash. Bakit kaya, class? So there should be a what? Check and balance. Pwede i-manipulate nung gumagawa ng cash. Kaya sa tindahan, kung siya ang gagawa ng, kung siya yung cashier mo, hindi dapat siya ang inventory mo. Pero na lang kung ikaw owner, siguro naman di mo datayain sa sarili mo. Okay? Next, the books must be registered with BIR. So yung pong ruling dapat, class, ha, bago ka maglagay dyan sa different book of entry na yan, automatic, you need to have the BIR stamp. Kung legal ang negosyo nyo. Stamp your book of account. Okay? Next, the books must have monthly totals to monitor. Okay? So, usually sa BIR, pag gumagawa ka ng resibo, receipt number, ganyan-ganyan, up to July 1, up to July 31, receipt number, ganyan-ganyan, ito po yung total sales. Ito po yung total expense. May mga ganyan per month. Okay? Yan. The fourth accounting cycle is from the journal, book of original entry, the monthly totals will be transferred monthly to the ledger, which is the book of final entry. We call this posting. So under the ledger, we have what we call the general ledger, wherein isang general ledger, nandun na lahat yung, ito yung parang key account mo, class, but there is also proper way of writing it. So I will show you later on kung how to write it. Mas maganda nga sana meron na kayo. Meron ba kayong mga ganon? By the way, class, meron kayong mga journal entry, mga ledger? Mas maganda sana kung meron kayong ganon.
Yes
para
po.
kapag discuss ko, nakaka-relate kayo. Kung meron kayo, please lang pakikuha na. Okay? Kasi feeling ko aabot tayo. Okay? Yan. Ito na ako. So, after ng journalizing, you will post it in your ledger. Meron tayong special ledger kasi. Pero usually, they use the general ledger. Okay? And ang pinakamalaki mong makukonsume sa general ledger is the cash account. Okay? So we call it posting. So kung sa scratch paper natin to, ito yung ginagawa natin key account. But in this case, class, in reality, we will post it in our ledger. Okay? Next, this is the first phase of summation, and we will transfer the figures in the general ledger on the working paper's first two columns, and this is your trial balance. Kaya kung mapapansin sa general ledger, so kapalkalin ko pa. Anyway, dito naman sa PowerPoint may example. Okay? Then, yun yung magsisilbing trial balance na ninyo kaagad. Okay? May debit and credit na rin yun. Mababalance na kaagad sila yung cash by the end of the month. Step number 5 of your accounting cycle is the preparation of adjusting entries. Okay? Adjusting entries is Example of that is the accrual of income and expenses, repayment or prepaid, deferred, depreciation, and impairment of receivables. Of course, after you prepare your adjusting entries, you also prepare your adjusted trial balance. Imagine the worksheet, you already did that. Huh? And of course, after this one, you need to prepare the financial statements, which I already teach you. Income statement, statement of financial condition or position, statement of cash flow, and of course, statement of changes in owners. 7, preparation of closing entries, preparation of post-closing trial balance, and of course, preparation of reversal entries. Ano ba yung mga kino-close natin? Paano ba natin gawin ito? So just like journal entry and adjusting entry, meron din po tayong tinatawag na preparation of closing entries, which is hindi pa na ituturo sa inyo. Okay? Yan. So application of accounting concepts and principles. When we're talking about gathering or data gathering, so entity concept, only authorized business transactions are allowed to be entered into the book of accounts. Authorized, meaning to say valid. For example, a manager asks his messenger to purchase office supplies from Nena Bookstore for office use. The office supplies were purchased for 1,590. Okay? You check. Sabi niya, authorized business transactions are only allowed. It's allowed, so we check. Objectivity principle, transactions must be supported by a piece of evidence. And what is that piece of evidence? The receipts, the voucher, if it is a voucher, an invoice. Okay? So pieces of evidence should pass the BIR standards, otherwise the expense may not be tax deductible expense. So meron kasi tayong mga receipt lang dyan. Delivery receipt, etc. So how do you check that? Okay, so the BIR standards are, the receipts must be in the name of the company, sold to BNR, sold to Golden Baker or Laminate. Okay, there should be ganyan. Next, the receipt must be an invoice, my invoice number, cash invoice or credit invoice or an official receipt. Take note, class, if you're going to purchase your personal, much better kung nag-grocery. For example, ako nag-grocery ako sa CSI kunwari kasi ito lang may harina. I think it's better to separate your personal stuff or items na binibili mo sa CSI from your business. Okay? I-separate mo yun. Okay? Next. The receipt must be claimed within the taxable period only. Okay? So, kung ano ba yung taxable period? So, within a year. Okay? Verifiability principle. So, the effect of the application of the concept and the objectivity principle. When transaction with their supporting evidence can be checked on for their in-occurrence, they are verifiable. Here, reliability principle. When the entity concept and the objectivity principle can be applied, the transactions are, of course, reliable. Okay? Another, for example, how are you going to entry this kind of transaction? A manager asks his messenger to purchase office supplies from Nena Bookstore for office use. And the office supplies, wait lang kasi. Hello po. May speaking po. ng class, ha? Ayan. So, let's analyze the components of the cash receipt voucher class. Okay? So, take note of the heading. Okay? So, the heading should have or consist of the name of the company. So, what is the name of the company? Bionar Incorporated. Name of the office form. Okay? So, it is a cash receipt voucher. Cash receipt voucher number. So, mahalaga to kasi nire-record to. The body, particulars, debit and credit. Ito po yun. Prepared by, sino nag-prepared? Checked by the person, sino nag-check? Approved by, shows that journal entry is now approved. Okay? That is the journal entry preparation. How are you going to record it? You debit, cash, worth 25,000. At nagkaroon ka ng sales, 25,000. And in transaction to record the cash sales for the day. Okay? Kung may OR number, i-record mo kung anong OR number. Yan. Ito yung breakdown. Ito yung breakdown class nung 25. Hmm? Alin? Hindi mo kasama mo. Ayan, nag-order ako ng mystery box sa Amazon. Kulang ng 80 pala, Dep. Ayan na. Eh, may 2.5 pa ako din. Mali ko bang yan na lang, 1.5 na lang. Anyway. Next, the attached to the cash receipt voucher are the copies of the official receipt and the validated deposit slip. Okay? So whatever it is, remember meron tayong kaninang OR number, dapat naka-attach din siya, class. Okay? Dapat naka-attach siya. Kung ano yung mga OR na yun. Next is cash payment. Cash payment voucher used whenever a company has to make payment via check. Okay? So this is cash payment voucher. So meron pa rin siyang cash payment number, sino yung payee, anong pangalan ng company, yung date, concepto, debit, credit, etc. Okay? So yan ang example ng cash payment voucher. So the components of cash payment voucher, same with cash receipt voucher, components 1 to 6. Name of the bank, check number, name of the bank, Bank of the Philippine Islands, check number 35565, and the amount received by. How much is the amount received? 5,000 pesos. The check itself, yan. So usually pag check, may mga signature pa yan. Okay, sa likod. Journal voucher. Journal voucher class is used other than cash receipts, not supported by official receipt and cash payments, and not supported by a check. So, how much? Okay? Or anong meron? Okay? Heading. Name of the company, BNR. B. Name of office form. Journal voucher. 2. Journal voucher number. O, i-open nyo. I-ano mo video mo Video mo. Ay, oo. Paisan mo sa Amazon. Video mo. Video mo. Bilisan mo, may klase ako. Body of the form, debit, credit, prepared by person. So, same lang, no? Ito yung mga dapat yung i-check. Okay? So, the cash receipt book contains all the cash received by the business entity and journalized in cash receipt voucher. It serves as a control measure so that no transactions will be recorded without an approved cash receipt voucher. Okay? So, this is the receipt or cash receipt journal. So, ito yung mga dapat nyo i-record. For example, on July 1, cash customer, yung reference number, important dito to sa, lalo pag mag-post kayo. Jay, huwag ka nga maingay, Jay. Pakasarado mo ng pinto. Sorry for that, class. Mahalaga po na every journal entry, ilalagay nyo kung ano yung reference number ninyo. Kasi itong reference number na yan, class, it will be posted also, or malaki ang effect dito kapag post ninyo doon sa ledger ninyo. Madali nyo kasi mamomonitor kung saan mo ba ilagay ito. Okay? So, July 1, cash customer. Cash on hand, cash in bank, account receivable, so, lahat yung natanggap mo. Ito yung transaction mo lahat sa cash mo. Okay? Next, Juan Perez. Ayan. Mukhang nabubos ata ako sa aking mystery box 17. Ayan. Ayan. Anyway, deposit cash receipt. So, ito yung mga sample transaction. Ano yung nakuha ko? Huwag mo naman i-ganyan. Anong brand to? Sticker lang natanggap. Wala na? Yun lang? Anyway, notes. July 2, check number 35526 was issued to ABC Enterprise for the purchase of merchandise amounting to 25,000. Ayan, kaya, ayan, nirecord na ni July 2, nakareceive daw siya ng 25,000. Kanino galing? From ABC Enterprise, is it? And cash in bank. Sabihin nasa bank. Okay? Next, check number 35527 is to JCA leasing as payment of the rental of office for the month of 5,000. For the month, worth 5,000. Ayan. So, ilalagay nyo. So, dito sa particularized class, ilalagay mo kung saan ba galing yung na-receive mo. Okay. Is it cash in bank, cash payable, purchases? Okay. Next is step number 35528 was issued to XYZ Corporation. So, 12,500. So, ganun lang class, no? I-record mo siya. So, mas magiging clear sa inyo to kapag mismo on the spot gagawin natin. Okay? Let's move on. So, ganun lang sa cash. This is on the cash account. Okay? So, yung total balance niya, debit, tinotal lang lahat for the month. This is for the month. Transaction mo. Ayan. So, after you journalize it, you need to post it in the ledger. So, posting is the process of transferring the information contained in the journals in the ledger or book of final entry. Okay? So, the process of transferring the information contained in the journal in the ledger book of final entry is, for example, let's look at the entry muna. Bakit walang ano? Hindi ah. May pangalan ako dyan? Wala ka man lang binuksan na walang pangalan ko, Jay. Paano mo nalaman na sa akin yan? Ay, stress ako. Anyway, July 1. Cash customer. Kailan nangyari yon? 7/31. Ah, 7/31. 7/1. Ang nangyari 7/1, reference number 101 or 500. Wait lang. Bakit yung cash on hand nito is posting? So anyway, ang kailangan mo naman malaman dito is yung PR or yung reference number. Pag sinabing ditong CPJ, ibig sabihin nandun sa journal and journal entry mo, page 1, yun yung J1 10 class. Ang date niya is 7/31. Okay? So this is where we get the figures. We get this from cash payment journal, CPJ, kaya CPJ, customer journal. Sa page 1. Take note, may mga page kasi yung mga ano nyo, yung journal nyo. So, iti-check mo doon. May cash ba na transaction naganap doon? How much? Okay? 5,750 ba? So, for example, no, doon sa problem natin, doon sa summative test niyo, balikan natin yung summative test niyo. For example, kunwari ito, September 2. Ito kunwari, page 1 ito. Okay? Dapat nag-a-appear doon na yung cash mo ay nasa debit side. Okay? So, di ba meron ditong PR? Yan. Dito naman, ilalagay mo siya kung kapag na-post mo na siya sa ledger class, magkakaroon na dito ng laman sa PR. Dito naman, ilalagay nyo naman kung anong page naman doon sa ledger nyo pinost. Yung entry na ito. Okay? Oh, next. Expected ko nga, malaki yan eh. Naka-bulk eh. Tatagtagan ko ng negative comments. Anyway. Next, so this is where we get the figures. We get this from cash receipt journal. Okay? So cash receipt journal naman to galing. Itong transaction ito. Ilalagay mo yung date sa particular kaninong company. So, yan. Okay? Next. Tingnan mo yung screenshot ko na. So, you prepare the trial balance after you post. So, the entries in your P account. Okay? So, whatever is the ending balance in your ledger, so parang P account to class ha, whatever it is, for example, natotal mo lahat ng P transactions mo sa cash, ilalagay mo na ngayon yan. So, cash on hand, 21,000. Dito. Credit, 5,000. Saan makikita yon? Dito. Okay? So, 25,000. For example, ito yung total ng cash. Cash in bank. So, total dito naman sa example na to is 7,000. Sa credit side niya is 70,250. Sa debit side niya, gano'n. Okay? Depende. So, in this case, cash in bank niya is, hindi. Ito. For example, ito lahat ang cash in hand. Diba? Ito yung debit. So, this case, 21,250 yung debit side, 5,750 yung credit side. So, ayan po, lumabas dyan. Sa ledger nyo, titingnan kung ano yung magiging balance ng yung trial balance. Okay? That is for the cash on hand. How about in the cash in bank? So you have your debit, 5,750, credit, 70,250. Ayan. Okay? Then your total. O, take note ha. It doesn't necessarily mean na kapag ang total sa trial balance mo is balance, tama yung transaction mo, class. There is a possibility na mali ka ng lagay. Okay? So, trial balance is just the list of account titles in the ledger with their corresponding balances. And there are two types are trial balance of total, done by listing the account title found in the ledger and getting the total of each debit and credit to be written in the debit and credit column of trial balance. And we also have what we call the what? The report. The following should be observed, of course. Una muna is yung second one is the trial balance of balances. So dito, nilista lang lahat ng accounting title at saka yung balance niya. Trial balance of total. So anong meron sa trial balance of total? A. The report should start with a proper heading. The heading contains the main information. Name of the company, name of the statement, trial balance date. We also have the column heading, account title, debit, and credit column. Name of the company, trial balance date. Account title, debit, credit. B. The currency sign, peso sign, is only written on the following. First figure of the column total. Dito lang sa kauna-unahan kayo naglalagay. Pero syempre sa Excel, dahil naka-formula ako, makikita nyo lahat may peso sign. Okay? But, okay na talaga. Gusto pa nilang mag-discuss ako na. Sabihin nyo ng class kung ayaw nyo na, ano na to accounting 1 nila ito.
Go breaks.
Class, okay lang ba sa inyo na OT tayo? Actually, ito namang dinidiscuss ko, class, is accounting 1 nyo ba ito? Tapos na tayo sa accounting 2. This is just a refresher. Sabihin nyo lang kung ayaw nyo na. Okay lang sa akin. Uy, nandyan pa ba kayo?
Ma'am, next week ulit.
Tapusin lang natin itong trial balance. Okay? At least nasa trial balance na tayo. Don't worry. Hanggang dito na tayo sa chapter. Hindi naman kasi kayo nagsasalita. Magsalita din kayo. Anyway, so ayan. Next is the currency peso sign is only written in the next week. Hindi itong i-discuss ko kasi magpapa-observe tayo next. Okay. Ayan. So sa una lang siya sinusulat. What else? The account title is arranged in accordance with its appearance in the ledger. So, kaya sa ledger, galingan nyo na yung pag-arrange. Okay? Arrange na siya sa current asset, from current asset, non-current asset. Tinatawanan ako ng asawa ko. Liability, gano'n na, pagkaka-arrange. Okay? Next is account with no figures in the ledger should be marked 0. Yan. For example, wala siyang credit. The office supplies will mark 0. Once balance double ruling signifies the completeness of the report. Okay? The second type of trial balance is the trial balance of balances. Ito yung dinideduct mo na si debit at saka si credit side class. Okay? Ayan. So ito na yon. Merong ganito. This is an example. Diba? Ito yung difference. So for example, sa cash in hand, you have 21,250. You have a credit of 5,750. You just minus. Okay? Kung ano yung mas malaki, dun na. So ganyan. Okay? And that ends our section. Susunod, kung meron tayong extra time, I will discuss this one, business form, transaction, analysis. As part of your review for your accounting 1. Okay? And for your assignment, read the next activities and the PowerPoint presentation for your quarter 2 and also your activity 1, 2, and 3 na cash flow statement. Okay? Please also review our topic dahil magpapa-observe po ako kay Ma'am kay Sir Sir Marvin. Okay? Do you have any questions, class?
Ma'am, wala na po.
Okay, thank you very much. Di naman kayo umimik. Bye, class. Screenshot na kayo.
Bye, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.